So you're probably thinking, what does focus have anything to do with losing belly fat? Did he make a spelling error? Well, no. I genuinely believe that focus is one of the most important things that you can have. There was one moment that really solidified this idea in my mind. I remember I was at the gym in the early days. I was super skinny. Malnourished looking skinny. Okay, we're talking that skinny. I just did a set of bench press, probably just benching the bar at that time. And I was on my phone. And I must have been on my phone for a while. Because there was a guy who came over to me and he said, "Are you done yet? Like, how much longer do you have?" And the way he said it was so accusatory. He said it in such a way that was like, "What are you doing? Hurry up." I was super embarrassed, right? I was young, sheepishly looked at him and I was like, sorry sir. Bear in mind, this guy was a massive guy, clearly been to the gym for many years. So I got off the equipment and I remember thinking to myself, is this the reason why I'm out of shape? And now if you think about anything that you've actually been good at, anything that you've accomplished, anytime you've worked super hard and you've done something you're genuinely proud of, you probably had to sit down and focus. And don't even lie, if you're part of the 99% of the population, then you've probably already gone down to the comment section. You probably can't go to the toilet without using your phone. You probably can't eat your meal before finding that perfect YouTube video. Luckily, I've managed to not be so distracted and I've managed to learn how to be focused. Who am I to tell you how to focus? Well, I'm Anthony and I'm a medical student, chess master, and I've helped countless clients melt their belly fat, as well as myself. Recently, I lost over 10 pounds in 6 weeks, just in time for the summer. So now we've considered why focus is important for literally anything, not just losing belly fat. The first thing is, what does your surroundings look like? What are you surrounded by? What is your environment? Because I used to buy into the whole just be super disciplined, 3 a.m. wake up, David Goggins style, resist all urges, resist all temptations by sheer willpower, right? I just don't think it works for most people because it goes against evolution. It's built into our DNA to seek out sugar, for example, because our ancestors, they didn't have access to energy sources that we have access to now. Back then, diseases happened because of scarcity, because they were malnourished. But now, we get sick because of abundance of food, right? How do we die now? We die from diabetes, heart disease, strokes. So discipline isn't going to cut it. Like, the most disciplined person in the world locked David Goggins up in a room for a day where the room is full of cheeseburgers on the table and fries and donuts and milkshakes. I mean, it's David Goggins, so maybe he won't, maybe he'll resist. But for us mere mortals, we are going to eat that donut. So therefore, environment is everything. Don't buy the stuff in the first place. Don't let it get into the cupboards because we will find a way if we want to. And focus doesn't just come from lack of physical distraction. More so now, probably a bigger problem is your digital environment. Be honest with yourself and recognize if you have an addiction to scrolling social media, for example. Being addicted to anything is going to inherently ruin focus because focus comes from the ability to not be addicted to stuff. The next thing is diet, okay? The number one biggest hack is just intermittent fasting. Straight up, intermittent fasting. Don't eat until 12 and you'll have super focus in the morning. Moving on to point 3, you can work out earlier in the day, okay? If you struggle with working out and getting to the gym, doing your cardio, losing belly fat, you need to do it first thing in the morning, preferably, or as early as possible. Everyone knows, you know that feeling when the day starts to get away from you. As the day goes on, you have less energy, you're more tired, you're thinking about more things. Things have happened in the day that might cause you to be stressed. And that is going to affect your ability to lose weight. Try and reduce your level of ultra-processed food and carbohydrates because that is what gives you that brain fog. When you have ultra-processed food, especially rich in carbohydrates, your insulin spikes. Insulin allows your blood glucose or sugar from the carbohydrates to move into your cells. Whatever goes up must come down. That is one of the laws of the universe. If you are constantly spiking your sugar, then you're also getting constant sugar crashes throughout the day. And you are at your most vulnerable when your sugar is crashed. You are most likely to slip up, binge, not go for a workout, and go into the gym, not feel like it, and leave after 5 minutes. Also in the morning, you have less distractions because not many people are awake. And then finally, appreciate the power of doing one thing at a time. If you've ever achieved something great, you know that you probably were obsessed with that one thing and you did that one thing without being distracted. If you're trying to get promoted at work and do great work, you know, you're an artist, you're trying to paint art, then you know that you're going to be in the zone painting that art. You're not going to be on your phone at the same time. If you go into the gym, you just see every single person on their phone. It's like, of course you're not going to get a good workout. Of course you're not going to lose belly fat because you're so distracted. You will not be rewarded unless you put in the work, right? That's another universal law. You get out what you put in. At the end of the day, ChatGPT exists and information is endless. Like, I know you already know what to do, but it's more about the mindset and the psychology behind things from first principles, because everyone and their dad is telling you advice on YouTube, on Instagram about tips and tricks, right? Just eat this food, eat that food, but without understanding why, the deeper reasons, going back to first principles, then you'll never lose belly fat. You won't lose belly fat sustainably. Learning the knowledge that goes a little bit deeper than simply saying, oh, eat blueberries or some bullshit. Subscribe if you're serious about losing belly fat.